revenge plan, Sharon, Phyllis, and the shady investigation. On The Young and the Restless, intense storylines always have a way of creating complex connections between characters, from broken relationships to dark conspiracies. This time, the story revolves around one of the most dramatic revenge scenes ever, starring Sharon Newman, Phyllis Summers, and an unexpected character, Traci Abbott. When Traci Abbott receives an SOS signal from her loved ones, things get more confusing than ever. Although Traci has always been a fair-minded and exemplary Abbott sister, a larger conspiracy is lurking in the shadows. Suspicions begin to arise when Traci may be in league with Alan Laurent, who is believed to be behind the nightmarish kidnapping that Sharon and Phyllis endured. Suspicions are heightened when it is revealed that Traci had been in contact with Alan Laurent before the kidnapping. Is Traci really involved in the plot, or is she the victim of a power play she is unaware of? Sharon Newman and Phyllis Summers, two women with a tumultuous but equally complicated relationship, are no longer rivals in love or work. Instead, they are forced to work together to deal with a common enemy. The same people who have made them suffer in their nightmares, forced them to face the darkness of their past, and now, revenge is their only goal. Both want to pay for what happened, and although they sometimes cannot fully trust each other, their only goal is justice. Their relationship gradually becomes a strong alliance, where every step is carefully calculated, but also full of risks. One of the big questions they face is who is really behind the kidnapping? And is Alan Laurent the mastermind? Sharon and Phyllis can't stop thinking about the latest clue Chance Baldwin has left them. A gas control device was purchased through an account linked to a psychiatric clinic in Paris. This is a big clue, as it indicates that the person behind the kidnapping may have connections to psychiatric institutions and people with criminal pasts. While Sharon and Phyllis are looking for clues, Nick Newman begins to have doubts. He notices Chance's strange reaction when Alan Laurent's name is mentioned in conversation. Nick feels that Chance is hiding something about Alan and what happened in the past. Does Chance really know more about Alan Laurent and the Abbott family's shady past? Nick's doubts only make the situation more complicated. He decides to start his own investigation, which could be a major turning point in the kidnapping case. Can Nick find out the truth before Sharon and Phyllis do? With all the clues gathered, Sharon and Phyllis decide to make a big move. They agree to postpone Phyllis's long-planned trip to London, as the investigation is entering its decisive phase. Sharon, although always a peace seeker, understands that only revenge can bring justice to herself and her loved ones. Phyllis, with her wisdom and determination, is always ready to fight to the end to protect the people she loves. Sharon and Phyllis's alliance becomes even stronger as they continue their investigation together, not only with the desire for revenge but also with the search for justice. Faced with puzzling mysteries and people with dark intentions, they will have to fight to uncover the truth and punish those who caused their suffering. While Sharon and Phyllis continue their search for justice, another important event is also approaching. Ashley Abbott, the strong and steadfast sister of the Abbott family, will soon return home. However, Ashley's return will not be a simple family reunion. She will have to face secrets, dark plans, and possibly even betrayals within her own family. The story becomes even more intriguing when Ashley's appearance may shed light on the hidden plots behind the kidnapping. Whose side will Ashley stand on? Can she become an important ally in the battle between Sharon, Phyllis, and those behind these dark plots? With more and more clues coming out, Sharon and Phyllis's revenge has become one of the most intriguing and tense storylines on The Young and the Restless. Can they find out who is behind the kidnapping and bring them to justice? The Young and the Restless has always been known for its intense plots and relentless battles between characters. This time, the story revolves around Traci Abbott, one of the core members of the Abbott family, as she is caught up in a serious and dangerous case, the kidnapping of Phyllis Summers and Sharon Newman. Can Traci keep her secret, or will the truth be exposed in the bright light of justice? It all starts with a plot that few expected, when Traci Abbott, a woman who has always been considered the pillar of the family, is suspected of being involved in the kidnapping of Phyllis and Sharon. Things get complicated as the case becomes more and more complicated. Is Traci the one behind the kidnapping, or is she just a victim of a power play that she cannot control? At first, Traci tries to keep everything under wraps, but important clues emerge that make it impossible for the police to stop investigating. Evidence is starting to surface about Traci, and now she may face some tough questioning. The big question is, will Traci confess to the truth about the kidnapping, or will she continue to keep it a secret and protect those behind it? Jack and Ashley Abbott, a dangerous visit while Traci is facing suspicion and investigation from the police. Jack Abbott, her brother, is in a very difficult situation. Ashley Abbott, Jack's sister, will return to Genoa City after a long absence and bring shocking news. As soon as she lands, a big secret will be revealed, putting everything in a tense situation. Jack, with thoughts of the mysterious switch between Alan and Martin Laurent, will take Ashley to a quiet jazz room to discuss his suspicions. Jack shares the evidence he has gathered with Ashley, raising the inevitable question, is Alan really Martin's twin brother, who many thought was dead after the Paris incident? Ashley, with her years of experience dealing with the complex intrigues of the Abbott family, begins to realize that there is good reason to suspect that Martin is more than just a regular guy. He may be the twin brother many thought was dead. However, Ashley still needs more time to convince herself, and she begins to worry about the threat that Alan, or Martin, in fact, may pose. As the situation becomes more serious, Traci feels her stress rising. She knows that the truth cannot be hidden forever, and so she decides to take action. In an attempt to call for help, Traci sends out an SOS signal. She wants to contact her brother Jack, but it won't be easy, as she's being watched and held back by the people behind the kidnapping. Traci can't stop thinking about Alan Laurent's return from Paris. He's appeared in her room, bringing with him unanswered questions and threats. Alan, or Martin, is now a specter that threatens not only Traci but the entire Abbott family. Can Traci find a way to escape and reveal the truth, or will she be drawn further into this dangerous plot? Although Jack and Ashley are both concerned for Traci's safety, there's little they can do while Traci remains trapped in a dangerous situation. In a pivotal moment, Ashley finally admits that there's reason to fear that Martin, or Alan, is the surviving twin. However, they both know that this won't be easy to accept. The Abbott family will have to face a truth harder than ever before. Jack and Ashley, however, decide to continue their investigation and search for clues about Martin, hoping to find a way to stop the plots he is carrying out. But can they save Traci in time before it is too late? The police investigation becomes increasingly tense as they begin to gather information from all sides. The evidence on Alan and Martin is mounting, and the connection between them is undeniable. However, with Traci now a target, will she be able to stand her ground during questioning, or will she be pressured into admitting the truth? The police know that Traci may know more than she is letting on, and they will stop at nothing to uncover the truth. Traci, with growing fear, will be faced with a difficult decision: confess the truth about her involvement in the kidnapping, or continue to protect those behind it. As things reach breaking point, Traci knows that the secret can no longer be kept. In a final confrontation with the police and the Abbott family, the truth will come out. Traci will have to decide whether she can protect her loved ones while exposing those with dark agendas. Can she save everything, or will it all come crashing down as family ties and the truth are torn apart? Meanwhile, Alan's machinations continue to unfold, complicating matters even further. Can the Abbott family stand tall and survive this storm, or will they be torn apart by unforgivable secrets? With all the threats looming, the young and the restless continues to prove that nothing is easy in the Abbott family, especially when dark secrets and dangerous plots hang over their heads. Mystery investigation, Traci Abbott, Alan and the dark curtains in the tense world of the young and the restless. Stories become increasingly complex as family secrets begin to surface, and seemingly strong relationships are put to the test. This time around, the story revolves around more than just Ashley Abbott's return. It's about confrontation and suspicion, where every move could be a life-or-death decision for the Abbott family. When Ashley Abbott returns to Genoa City after a long absence, she not only faces changes in her family, but also a shocking truth. As soon as she lands, shocking news reaches her ears, completely changing the situation in the Abbott family. Things aren't as simple as she imagined when she returns, and Ashley quickly realizes that there are dangers that remain unsolved, especially the secrets surrounding the kidnapping of Phyllis Summers and Sharon Newman. As Ashley learns new information and shares it with Jack, one of the key questions she faces is whether Traci was actually involved in the case. Traci, Ashley and Jack's older sister, is thrust into a tense situation when she is accused of being involved in the kidnapping. Will Traci face questioning from the police? And will she dare to confess the truth about Alan's deception? Traci Abbott, a woman considered the backbone of the family, is facing accusations that cannot be easily denied. Sharon and Phyllis, two of the kidnapping victims, have asserted that Traci may know more than she is admitting. The police begin a thorough investigation and find links between Traci and Alan, who is believed to have been involved in the kidnapping. Traci is confused and exhausted. She can't believe that her loved ones think she has anything to do with it. However, she can't deny the signs that Alan, or more accurately, Alan's twin brother Martin Laurent, is manipulating things from the shadows. Traci wants to keep the truth under wraps, but it may not last forever. Will Traci decide to confess everything and face the consequences, or will she try to protect those behind her? Family ties are strained more than ever as events push Traci further into a corner. Jack Abbott, Traci's worried and protective older brother, can't sit idly by as his suspicions about her grow. As the investigation progressed, Jack realized that he could no longer stand aside. He decided to ask Traci directly about what was going on. However, Traci did not easily reveal any secrets. She only said that she had been tricked by Alan, which made Jack even more confused. Traci could not fully admit the truth because she was afraid that it would harm not only herself but also her family. However, Jack could not understand why Traci kept silent and covered everything up. He tried to find out, and in a tense moment, he decided to share all the evidence he had collected over the years. The big question that Jack asked was, were Alan and Martin Laurent one and the same? And did Traci know about this swap plot all along but kept quiet for some reason? While Jack and Ashley search for the truth, Traci faces a major threat from Alan. Or more accurately, from Martin Laurent, Alan's twin brother. Traci decides to send out an SOS signal, calling for Jack's help. After Alan returns from Paris, he reappears in Traci's room, carrying terrifying questions and an implicit threat. Traci feels that she can no longer hide. In a moment of panic, she decides to call Jack, but will he be able to get there in time to save her before Alan actually does something worse? Alan's presence leaves Traci feeling trapped. She begins to suspect that she has not only been tricked, but may also be a pawn in a dangerous power game. Despite Jack's constant concern for Traci's safety, Ashley finally admits that she has good reason to fear Martin, who she's starting to believe might be Alan's surviving twin. It takes Ashley a long time to convince herself, but she finally agrees with Jack that her suspicions aren't unfounded. With more information coming to light, Ashley and Jack decide to work together to find the truth. They know that if they continue to search, things could go further and cause harm not only to the Abbott family but to the loved ones around them. Ultimately, Jack, Ashley and Traci's efforts will lead to a fierce confrontation. Traci will have to face the truth about what has happened all this time and whether she can escape the constraints of Alan and Martin. The police investigation is getting closer and closer, and the truth will soon be revealed. Can the Abbott family weather this storm and find peace, or will they be torn apart by the inevitable dark plot? The Young and the Restless continues to captivate audiences with thrilling episodes, where each character's decision can completely change the situation. Traci, Jack, Ashley, and others will have to face difficult choices in a world full of secrets and evil schemes. Subscribe to our channel to update the latest news.